episode of the Metal Voice. Jim?
This week, what are we going to listen to? What have we been listening to?
Edguy. Age of the Joker.
Age of the Joker.
As you know, Jim, Edguy is one of my favorite bands. Apparently, he got some kind of following out there with the critics, music critics. That you love them or hate them kind of attitude. I love them. I think they're great.
Yeah.
I've got all their material. Enjoy them tremendously. We've done some shows on Avantasia, Tobias Sammet's side project. But Edguy is back with a new release called Age of the Joker.
Age of the Joker.
Jim?
Yeah, you know, Alan, look.
Talk about the album.
Listen, Alan, I'm not a big Edguy fan. Or like we say here in Canada, Edguy. I'm not a big Edguy fan. But what I did is I listened to this album. I spent a lot of time listening to this album.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to make sure I give this album a good critique.
Good.
I have a few Edguy albums, and every time I put them on, the older stuff, I can never get through the whole CD. I don't know what it is.
Come on, Jimmy, killing me here.
I don't know what it is. I just can't get through an album.
Jim?
Yes.
Big, huge Edguy fan, one of my favorite bands.
As I am not a big, huge Edguy fan, so this is going to be crazy today. What?
So what do you think of the new album?
Robin Hood. Boing, boing. This new album, Age of the Joker, I got through it,
okay.
And I like it.
You like it?
And I can just give you a couple of tracks. Robin Hood, my first impression when I heard Robin Hood. Okay, Robin Hood, my first impression was, what kind of stupid, corny lyrics are these? Robin Hood? Has he run out of ideas? Robin Hood, what's next? Ooh, The Three Little Pigs by Edguy.
I like that. And they released a single version to get it down to 5, but on the album itself, you've got that middle sequence that's like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. You hear like horses going through. Even the guitars in it sounds like that, you know.
Look, this is what I thought. I go corny. But you know what? I get Edguy. He's got a sense of humor to Tobias. He's got a sense of humor. And you know what? This is a well-structured song. He sings great on it. There's some time changes. There's that middle part. And you know what? It almost goes up to 7 minutes or so.
Right, exactly.
So I can appreciate the effort, the melody, and the musicianship on this.
What other songs you
What else we got? We got Nobody's Hero. Another great, strong 10 out of 10,
That's right.
10 out of 10 track. Nobody's Hero. Yeah, it's Edguy.
I know Tobias is one of his favorite off this new collection.
Rock of Cashel.
Pandora's Box.
Yeah, first thing I thought of when I heard of Rock of Cashel.
What's that?
It was very Celtic, twin guitar attack, very Celtic sounding, beautiful middle. I think it clocks around 7 minutes. You know what I thought about Tobias?
What'd you think about Tobias?
I go, is this Crocus?
Really?
Is this Mark Storacci? Storacci of Crocus? The voice. He sounds a lot like Mark Storacci.
I always thought he sounded like Bruce Dickinson on a lot of the earlier stuff.
I don't know about Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
Mark Storacci, Crocus. Then you have Pandora's Box.
Yes.
Fantastic.
That's one of his favorites off the album as well. So.
Again, now we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 out of 10 songs.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Breathe, another great track. I would say this is the 1, 2, 5. We got 5 songs, 10 out of 10.
He's listened to the whole thing.
10 out of 7, another great song. A very, a lot of funny, humorous lyrics. Again, his sense of humor. I also would say that Edguy right now is kind of like a hybrid of Avantasia.
Jim, I haven't had the chance to listen through all as much.
Well, it's a good thing you're reviewing it,
as much as you do. But that's what I noticed. The line on this album between Avantasia and Edguy, is kind of blurring a little bit.
But it's okay.
The keyboards, which have always been there in all their past albums, are a little bit more prevalent on this one.
Yes.
Maybe that's why you kind of get the Avantasia influence or feeling.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's a strong album. I mean, a lot of people are saying it sounds like early Edguy, and I going back through their discography. I think it's up to Theater of Salvation. That was really the transition point where they left behind a little bit more of the melodic, operatic, symphonic aspects of their music. And then, of course, that really hit home with Hellfire Club, with King of Fools, Mysteria. That's where they said, okay, let's take this chanting, this anthemic choruses, let's go with a harder edge. And I think that's where those two were the really transition albums. Mandrake had a little bit of it. The song Mandrake itself lent to what they were leading to, but most of the album was more to what they had done in the past, like Vainglory Opera. So going from there, they had Hellfire Club, Rocket Ride, who's still my favorite album, with great cuts like Superheroes. And then they went to Tinnitus Sanctus, which was the last album, but they got criticized for it being a little bit on the dark side, a little bit on the aggressive side, but that's kind of, I think, where they're going. So this album is a nice blend of what they worked themselves up to, but also giving a little nod of the cap of respect to what they've done in the past.
Let's go back into it. Then Face in the Darkness. This is the song that kind of like it dipped. So after 5 great tracks, 6 great tracks, it kind of like dips a little. I go, slow, proggy. I wouldn't call it a ballad. More proggy sound. Kind of boring. Boring. 6 out of 10.
His only criteria when he writes music is if it's something that he enjoys and that's something he thinks will be performed and he would enjoy performing.
But as we finish off on the album, I find that's where it starts getting a little weak, a little thin, a few ballads, a few slower tracks. Not the end of the world. 6 out of 10.
They've always had
so if I had to overall, I would say this is probably one of my favorite Edguy albums. On the positive, I give it like an 8.5 out of 10, maybe even 8.6 out of 10.
Well, you got through it.
I got,
so
and
it's
I
got
like
to be
it.
a 10.
And actually, there I am walking down the street and I'm humming the melodies of the album. So that's a good sign. This is every song, there's a lot of work put in this album. There's a lot of work put in this album.
I'm not going to rate it. I'm just going to say it's another consistent album from Edguy, and that I highly recommend.
Don't expect Slayer.
Go out, enjoy it, enjoy the band, and hopefully promote them because it's one of my favorites. And I'd like to bring this to you, and we can get them up to hundreds and millions of record sales. That would be great.
Because that's what the Metal Voice does.
That's what it is.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to another edition of The Metal Voice.
The Age of the Joker.
Age of the Joker.
Check out our website, www.themetalvoice.com.
Or you can send us an email, and I know everybody loves sending us emails at themetalvoice@gmail.com.
Looking forward to reading them. Your comments are always welcome. And again, our whole goal of our show is to promote metal and the metal community and promote bands and new releases like Edguy's.